All right, our third speaker this morning is Mike Slattery. Before becoming an insurance agent 18 years ago, Mike spent 30 years in the auto collision repair business as a body man. When Mike was repairing damaged vehicles, he used original parts manufactured by the maker of the automobile, in other words, new OEM parts. However, today the game has changed. The insurance companies demand that a damaged vehicle be repaired with what are called aftermarket parts, which are not manufactured by the automaker. This morning, Mike will be speaking about why, as an insurance consumer, you should be aware of this phenomenon. Please help me welcome with me our next speaker for the day, Mike Slattery.
Okay. So I just got in an accident. I was on my way home from work, and I was daydreaming about when I was racing, going into turn 1 at the Orange Show Speedway, making that left turn. Unfortunately, I made it too wide. I hit the curb, went up on the sidewalk, and boom! Right into a lamppost. Fortunately, I was on my way home, and this was the street where the house was on. So I got out, took a look at the damage, and found out that I could still drive the car. So I got back in, and I went home. Now, of course, the first thing that came to my mind was, what are you going to tell Mama? Now, here it is. We have a relatively new 2013 Toyota Camry. She really enjoys the car because she thinks the Camry's the best car ever made. Not my opinion, but in any case. So I go in and I say, hey, Bev, I had a little accident. She said, what happened? I said, well, let's go out and take a look at it. And I showed it to her. We needed a fender, hood, headlight, bumper, grill. All those things were damaged. And she said, well, what happened? I said, well, do you remember about 2 or 3 weeks ago when I was mentioning what a great speech Jack Cantola did about the coyotes and how they're a great animal? I was coming home making that left-hand turn, and these 2 coyotes right in front, and I didn't want to hit them. So I moved out of the way. She said, you should have hit the damn dogs. You wouldn't wreck our car. So, following day, I had the car towed to the body shop. And about 2 days after that, I got a phone call from the estimator at the body shop. His name was Joe. And he said, I want you to come down, and I'm going to go over the estimate with you, and I'm going to have you sign the repair order so we can fix your car. I said, okay, that sounds great. So I went down to the body shop, and I'm going over the estimate with Joe. And after each one of those parts that I had mentioned, the fender, the hood, the grill, the headlight, the front bumper cover, all those had a little letter after it said AM. And I said, what the heck is this, Joe? He said, that's aftermarket. What does that mean? That means that the parts we're going to put on your car are not made by Toyota. I said, you're kidding. He said, no. These are aftermarket parts that are made in Taiwan, Mexico, and China. And I said, well, why is that? And he said, because if you read the contract of your insurance company, any car that's 3 to 5 years old, they have a right, the insurance company, to put on lesser parts. And those are aftermarket parts. They save a ton of money. And I said, well, I don't want that. I said, first of all, when my car is hit and I go to trade it in, I have to disclose that I was in an accident. So what's the estimator going to do at the dealership? He's going to open the hood, he's going to look and see if there is a Toyota emblem on the edge of those parts. If there's not, then what happens, they say the car's been repaired, but it doesn't have Toyota parts on it. Instead of giving you $3,000 or $5,000 for your trade-in, we're only going to give you $1,500. So I said, you've got to be kidding. Not only is the fact that I got involved in an accident, the value of my car has gone down because of that, and now the insurance company wants to even cut it more. I said, that's not right. What can I do to counteract that? Well, you can pay for the OEM parts. OEM means original equipment manufacturer. That means I can pay the difference between what the insurance company is going to pay for those parts and what it costs for the actual part from the manufacturer. So I said, I'll tell you what, I'll do that. How much is that going to be? So he did some real quick calculations. So it's going to cost you about another $750 to put actual Toyota parts on your car. I said, you mean to tell me I have to pay my $1,000 deductible, and then on top of that, I got to pay another $750 to have a devalued car? And he said, that's correct. I said, holy mackerel. When I called the 800 number to get the, you're going to save $400 if you buy this insurance, that means that I saved $400, now it's going to cost me $700, so I didn't save a darn thing. So that's my point. When you hear all these, I'm going to save you this and I'm going to save you that with your insurance, think about it. The reason that they're able to do that, one of the reasons, and it's a major reason, is they're not going to put actual parts made by the company who you're driving their car. They're going to put on aftermarket parts. And they're going to save anywhere from 30 to 50% on those parts. That's why you're getting lesser insurance. So what I would say, at this point in time, when you get a chance, go take a look at the contract that you have with the insurance company that you're with. And go down into what they call the declaration pages and look at the word claims. And in that, they should state that if your car is 3, 4, 5 years old, that we, as the insurance company, are not going to use actual parts. We're going to use aftermarket parts on your car. So how can you change that? Well, some of the major companies, because they've had lawsuits about this, will say, now what you want to do, you give me an extra 10, 15% on your premium, and then we'll put actual parts. So in fact, you're self-insuring yourself so that you can have a car that would go back to the way it was prior to getting involved in an accident. Take a look at your insurance. Talk to an agent. Have them help you do that. Madam Toastmaster.